Simone, we love you too much to do that. We're not going to let you dim your light so that his can shine.
Why are y'all going so hard projecting on a relationship that has nothing to do with you? One in which you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors.
We are not going to let this man and his fragile ego make you diminish your accomplishments that has taken you a whole lifetime to build.
What you're doing is you're putting a wedge between their marriage. You are literally creating this atmosphere of animosity between husband and wife.
She said mood. Simone Biles said, are y'all done yet? Wrap it up.
Because a lot of you was coming out the woodworks with all this wisdom. Oh my God, did you see how he said that? He didn't have to say it like that. But you didn't see the red flags in your relationship, and you know this man's name. You know your ex-husband's name. You know your baby daddy's name.
Serena Williams' husband refers to himself as the husband of the GOAT.
Y'all are on this woman's side when she never asked y'all to be. If Simone isn't mad, then why are you?
This whole idea that you guys are going to come and we're not going to let you dim your light. Listen, 99% of the time when women are married, they don't want you standing against their husband.
Just like how you're proud to be his wife, he should be just as proud to be your husband. That's all we're saying, honey.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Nadia.
And it's me, Coach T.
And we are two average people.
Yes, we are.
Welcome back to our channel. We're going to jump right into the hot topic of Simone Biles and her husband, Jonathan Owens. So I guess the controversy is that, first of all, why Simone Biles is Simone Biles, right?
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
Clearly is a GOAT. She's made it. She has earned her position and her title
in history. Let's call it a day.
Let's call a spade a spade.
Let's call a spade a spade. She's there. She's that
so
one.
I guess a lot of people are like, well, why is she, first of all, is she pursuing anybody? Because she's Simone Biles. She can probably pull anybody she wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's the thought process, but I don't think that's true. I think if that was true, she probably has already experienced what that life has to offer and probably didn't want that. And she doesn't strike me as a person who doesn't know exactly what it is she wants.
That part.
So it sounds to me like she probably had a taste of what the left said and was like, okay, no. And she was like, let's see what the right's doing. And said, I'm going to shoot my shot. And got married as a result. I don't know. Part of me feels like this is a really big nothing burger, like a whole non-issue. But TikTok seems to be up in an uproar, so we decided we needed to talk about it. I don't know. I personally feel like she got what she wanted, which if you're the GOAT, that's kind of what happens. You get what you want. There's not a whole lot that Michael Jordan wanted that he didn't get.
And that's kind of what
she
said. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I wanted. So that's what I pursued.
That's what I pursued. That's what I got.
Clearly is why she is where she is today.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I think, a lot of women, especially on TikTok, are really, really upset with his words. Jonathan's words. His name's Jonathan, right?
Jonathan Owens.
Okay, good. Because his words seemed like it was dimming her light. Now, I just don't know how much I agree with that thought process. Although I can understand theoretically the thought process of, okay, well, his words seemed like they were antithetical for putting her on a pedestal. Now, that's the part that gets me like, okay, are we trying to put her on a pedestal? Or are we trying to give her the respect she deserves? The respect she deserves, I have no issue with. But putting a woman on a pedestal has never worked out for any man ever. And most women said they don't want to be put on nobody's pedestal. That's too much pressure. So if she's not mad and he's not mad, why are you mad? Okay. That's kind of how I feel. That's where I start.
Black women don't feel that way.
All right. Well, black women, tell me how.
And I'm saying, I'm not. We do believe that we want to be loved and appreciated and respected and somewhat put on a pedestal.
Oh, so you're saying that black women do want to be put on a pedestal on some level?
I do, although I don't always know that women understand what comes with that and how that should look.
Okay, elaborate.
I don't want you to be like, well, yes, miss. I'll do whatever you say. Like, no.
You don't want to hop on one
Because-
foot and bark like a dog? A big dog?
Woof, woof, woof. That was a great
Yeah, that
reference.
was good. All right. Okay.
Dang,
Cool.
yeah.
Shout out.
You know, like I don't think we always understand what that looks like, because a lot of times, like, yes, I want you to put me on a pedestal and be a man.
Mhm.
Are you really going to respect a man that puts you on a pedestal?
I don't think so.
I
don't. I'm sorry.
Really,
I don't.
Do you see
And I
what
don't
I'm
think that's a
saying?
black thing. I just think that's a people thing. People will react the same way to that every time. And that's not to respect the person who's putting you on a pedestal.
You're not to some point.
Sorry.
You're just not going to, because they're essentially just going to do everything you want and say.
Yeah.
Which at that point doesn't make them an individual to me.
Which you are not going to be able to respect. It's just that's not how it works.
But the part that jumps out at me is like when he was like, all men are a prize.
Uh-huh.
At first I was like, okay, excuse me. It sounds cocky. Like, okay, no, she's getting a prize. And we're all like, excuse me, you just married Simone Biles, like the greatest gymnast like in the world. Yes. Who's the prize here? But when I actually start and sit back and think about it from my mature mind and from where I am in my relationship, there is a certain level of truth to that. Not because I think he's the prize and she's not the prize, but I do think when you look at yourself as a prize in your relationship, there's a certain level of you show up in a certain way.
Yeah, there's a self-respect.
There's a self-respect that follows, that you also give off to your partner, like, hey. And so if you both kind of have that kind of, okay, yes, we're a prize to each other, that respect does go a long way. I know it sounds crazy, y'all.
I agree.
But try to go with me on this one.
I agree.
It's not that I think, I'm better than my husband or my husband's better than me because I'm going to say, oh, I'm a prize to him.
She is in some way. That's what makes her a prize to me.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
But
hey, it is what it is. It is the truth.
But at the same time, that self-respect, it does carry over into how you respond and how you treat your partner and how you show up in your relationship.
And how you let yourself be treated in that relationship.
That part. Yeah. That part. And so when I look at it from that lens, they're a prize to each other, but I think they know that. And
they're not insecure about it. So they talk about it freely.
Yes.
Right. So, and that says a lot, because to me, if you're mad at his words, you might be insecure. I know that's usually something that's aimed at dudes, but
especially since he said it in her presence.
He said it. Nothing he said was away from her. He didn't hide his hand. He didn't throw no stone and hide his hand. He said it straight up. And guess what? She didn't disagree with any of it. She agreed with all of it because she said that's how it is. Now, I'm not going to hate a man for saying exactly his lived experience. I'm not going to do that. I don't see the point in that. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's saying straight up and down, this is what happened. And she's going, yep. So if that's the case, then what exactly is there to be mad at?
Yeah.
I think this is a point where this is what happens when you let people into your business. When you let people into your business, they mix what they're thinking, feeling, and experiencing into your words, your thoughts, and your experiences, and come up with a whole diagnosis that may or may not have anything to do with you by the end of it.
Well, that's the choice people make.
That is the choice people make
when they decide to let people into their business. I mean, and that it kind of comes with the territory.
It does come
because
with the
nobody's going to agree wholeheartedly. Like, this is totally split, right? You have the one side is like, you're Simone Biles and you deserve this and you should be the one that he's. And then you have the other side that's kind of like, well, I don't see the problem.
Here's what I know. Most people don't necessarily care for the presence of arrogant people. Nobody minds a confident person, but most people don't care for arrogant people.
It's relative.
It's relative. I understand. It's relative. I know arrogant people a lot of the time get what they want, but that's mostly because people won't stand up to them. They just kind of do what it is they do.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I think that's fair. But I do think if you're mad at him saying that he's the prize or that men are the prize, I have to ask, well, are you the more arrogant person in that scenario? What's the difference? Exactly. From my perspective, I don't really see the functional difference in an arrogant dude or a woman who believes she's the prize. Like, because she's a woman. Not because she's done anything, but because she's a woman.
I think it's different in this case because it's Simone Biles.
Why?
It's not just a woman.
Because at the end of the day, most men don't care about, like, for most men, your accomplishments in your career path have nothing to do with the relationship.
True.
So you being Simone Biles, or you being the Olympian, or you being Simone Biles, the McDonald's worker, most dudes don't care.
I know that.
So if that's the case, then why would your accomplishments in any way affect a man from his position? Like, from his point of view, none of that matters either way. I mean, he's in the NFL. So it's not like he's a slouch. She didn't pick a slouch.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. But he's not comparing his NFL career to her Olympian status either.
No.
We are. We as the audience looking in are.
Right.
But he never made that comparison.
Right.
That's the part.
That we know of.
At least not that we know of. And in fact, on the interview, the other interviewer said to him, he's a hell of a safety. So he's doing his job in the NFL and he's doing it well. But he never made any real comparison, at least not that I saw, to his career versus hers. So that kind of confirms to me that he's probably a dude who wouldn't care one way or the other. Because her being an Olympian doesn't really matter to him. And honestly, it wouldn't matter to me either.
And what he means by that is not that it's not important.
No.
So he's not discrediting what she's accomplished, because I know that that's what that sounds like.
I hope it doesn't sound like that.
That's what that sounds like.
Oh, it's good to know.
But it goes back to the point of a lot of men don't care what you make or that you make more than them.
Not really.
Some men do, maybe, right? But most men, they're like, okay, we appreciate that and that's fine, but it doesn't affect how they show up in the relationship.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's inconsequential to how I would show up in a relationship.
You lost your job tomorrow. Most men who truly care about you would still be there to support you.
Facts. It wouldn't change us one bit.
Now, women, we ain't always like
that. It doesn't work that way.
We need you to provide, protect.
And that's okay. That's something
all of those things.
That's something that I understand. It does matter on the other side. It is a double standard, but so are so many other things. It doesn't really matter. That's not something that any dude is really that worried about. But if he's not worried about it in one direction and the other, he's probably not really worried about it. Is all I'm saying. And it sounds to me like he wasn't. Okay, let's just keep it all the way funky, right? He's not a bad looking dude. I don't think that he's going to have a problem getting women. I don't think that's an issue. He's an NFL player. He's relatively successful in his career path. I don't think he's going to have any problem getting women. I don't think that's what this is. And in fact, I think he said he wasn't even sure if he wanted to be married. It was Simone that made him think, no, this person is different. This is different from what I'm used to seeing. So, but I don't think her being a gold medalist was the thing that made her different. I think it's most likely the way she showed up in their relationship, why he saw her as different. Mm-hmm. All the rest of that was just on top of everything else, which just made her like over the top. No, this is the one. This makes sense. This is the way to go, which to me is honest. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we should shame men for being honest, because we don't want the other side to that, do you? I mean, you don't want the other side to that. You don't want that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think this is a big nothing burger until it isn't, until dude shows himself as not that guy, or she shows up as not that one. That ain't happened yet. So far, this is like one interview.
Yeah.
So more than anything else, I want to say congrats to them both.
All right.
On your marriage, and hey, hopefully you tune into folks like us because we're here to help support happy, healthy marriages.
All right, guys, let us know what you think about this. Give us your thoughts, comments.
We want to know.
We want to know.
Leave it down below.
It's split. Do you believe that, this was okay how she approached him and got what she wanted? Or do you think, nah, this shouldn't have gone down like that?
Yeah,
let us know.
If he's full of it, let us know down in the comments.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. And remember, we're better together.